So really, by the end of it, it was kind of a nice experience. I know that sounds crazy to say. Hey guys, how is it going? I hope you're doing well and enjoying this holiday season. I know for some of us it's easier than others, but so far I've been having a wonderful Christmas season. Put up the tree, decorate it outside. We're going to Mexico in a week, so I'm super excited. Actually, not even in a week. We're going in a few days. It's Wednesday today, and we're leaving on Saturday, so I'm super stoked. Last week, I went through my first chemotherapy session ever, and I wanted to post a video basically sharing with you what my experience was like as a first timer with chemotherapy. So I want to say every cancer is different. Every chemotherapy is different. Every body is different. Every body. Okay, so really it depends on how you take the treatment, what kind of treatment you're on, what kind of cancer they're treating. So there's a lot of variables. And I was diagnosed with colon cancer. The therapy that I'm going through or going with is called Ch.5. And I have 12 sessions worth of chemotherapy to go through for the next 6 months. It's 6 months worth because they do it every other week. So for the next 12 sessions or 11 sessions, because I already did one, I'll be going 1 week, taking a break the next week, going again the next week, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Basically because it takes about a week for your body to recover, and get rid of the chemo, so for you to be able to be strong enough to go again and do the treatment again. And it's a combination of drugs. If you're curious, I'll try and say them real quick. The first one is oxyplatin. The next one is fluorouracil, also called 5-FU. And I also get folic acid. It kind of acts like folic acid. It's supposed to limit the side effects of the 5-FU, and that one's called leucovorin. I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, so there they are if you want to look up the side effects for yourself. Anyone going through chemo is going to know that you are expected a ton of side effects. That's all they give you, that's all they tell you, the doctor, the nurses, your friends, people online, and you're going to do your own research. So the side effects that are most common with the chemo that I'm taking basically are neuropathy, which is tingling in the fingers and toes, nausea, diarrhea, mouth sores, low blood count, fatigue, loss of appetite, sensitivity to cold, which is an interesting one. And the one from 5-FU, so that's the side effects for oxyplatin, and the one for 5-FU is basically the same. Less common from the 5-FU, one of the less common side effects is hair thinning. Not hair loss, but hair thinning. So if I am gonna lose some hair, it hopefully won't be too bad. So I went on Tuesday last week, and the reason why I waited this long, basically, so today is December 16th, I wanted to give it enough time for the chemo to go through my system, for me to flush it out before sitting down and telling you what my experience was, because I wanted to be fair and really give you the 100%, experience, and not just wait a couple days after and be like, oh, this is what it was like. So Tuesday I went in, I wore a Snuggie because one of the side effects is sensitivity to cold. And basically what they mean by sensitivity to cold is you can't drink anything cold. I've read some blog posts where people have had to wear gloves when they go into the fridge. Everything has to be room temperature, all of that. So I did wear a Snuggie my first day. Wanted to be comfortable and warm, but I ended up basically sweating a lot. It was too hot for that, and it wasn't necessary because I did not experience that side effect. I will say, however, that some of these side effects are cumulative. So even though I might not have felt it the first time, maybe the second time I'll begin to feel it. By the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, I might be getting more sensitive to some of these things. But for now, I did not experience that. I went in, I sat in at 9 o'clock in the morning. I did not leave until 2 p.m. in the afternoon because that's how long the treatment takes. First, they take your vitals, then they put you on anti-nausea medicine, and I get everything through my port, which I got done earlier this month in December. Then they put me on the oxyplatin with the leucovorin, whatever that is. And it was a combination of those, and that treatment took 2 hours. So I had to sit for 2 hours for that to go in. And then after that, it was 20 minutes of the 5FU. Then when they were done with that, they gave me a new bag that was connected, and that bag I take home with me. So that was basically in this like kind of small package. I was really surprised. I don't know why I was expecting this giant bag of medicine, but really it was like tucked in a Game Boy type thing. If you know what a Game Boy is, if you're old enough to remember what Game Boys look like, that's what it was. And the medicine was inside of that. And then they give you a fanny pack, and then you just stick it in the fanny pack, and that's what you go home with. And then I had to have that attached to me the entire rest of the day into Wednesday, and I didn't go back until Thursday to get detached. So let's talk about the chemo itself. It didn't hurt me. I made sure, that I was very hydrated the entire time. I was drinking plenty of Gatorade and water. I did a lot of praying. I did a lot of meditating while I was there. I took Christmas cards. I took my MacBook. I took pencils, like coloring pencils. I figured, what am I gonna do for 5 hours? I gotta keep myself busy. But really what ended up happening was I spent the entire time praying, meditating, listening to beautiful music on my headphones, and just zoning out and visualizing the therapy as it went into my body, and how I wanted things to work themselves out, if that makes sense. So I just basically was visualizing the chemotherapy going into my body and saying, this is medicine, this is not poison, my good cells are gonna be fine, my healthy cells are gonna be left alone, and I'm gonna flush the rest of this out. So that's what I was thinking, that's what I was meditating on, and I was praying a lot. So really, by the end of it, it was kind of a nice experience. I know that sounds crazy to say, but it was a very spiritual, peaceful time. It wasn't stressful, even though the paramedics were called twice to the center where I was getting treated. One of the patients that was like just a few chairs away from me was passing in and out, couldn't remember his name. Then another guy needed the paramedics to come in, and they actually had to take him away to the emergency room. So that could have stressed me out way more, but luckily I was kind of in the zone and I tried my best not to let it bother me. The other thing too that really helped get me through the treatment and not feel sorry for myself was I got a ton of, direct messages, texts, posts on Instagram of my friends just supporting me and telling me how much they loved me and were thinking of me and praying for me, and that just meant the world. It really was amazing to kind of just have that support as I was getting the treatment. So thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it, and I love you so much. The folks at my CrossFit gym where I coach, TTR CrossFit, they're amazing, and made t-shirts that say #RosaStrong, and they all wore it on that day, on that Tuesday, kind of in solidarity and showing me that they had my back. So it was awesome. It really was awesome. So that was the day of. They sent me home with my little fanny pack. Of course, the first thing I did when I got home was replace the fanny pack with a cuter one. Thank God I had a couple in my wardrobe already. I went out for a walk. I went for a 3-mile walk/hike around the lake that's close to my home. I felt fine. I went to bed that night. I felt fine. I slept fine. Sleeping with that thing attached to me really wasn't that big of a deal because they have a long enough line on it where you can, just kind of tuck it away and it's not a problem. So I wasn't uncomfortable. The next day I did the same thing. I went for my walk, I meditated, I prayed, made sure I drank plenty of fluids, felt fine. Thursday came. By Thursday, my tongue started to feel a little swollen, which I thought was weird. They don't say tongue swelling, I don't think, on any of the pages and pages and pages worth of side effects, but I just assumed it was linked to the chemotherapy. So my tongue felt swollen. I don't know if it was actually swollen, but it felt swollen. It felt fat, like I had a fat tongue. And then that Thursday, 2:00 in the afternoon, I went in and they detached me. Meanwhile, this whole time, I'm taking my daughter to daycare. I took her to dance lesson. I took her to swim lessons. By Friday, I was feeling fine, but I did feel the most fatigue on Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, I felt normal. Friday, I definitely felt tired. It didn't last all day. It was just maybe an hour to an hour and a half, but I was still working through it. And Friday night, we went out to dinner with friends. So it wasn't terrible. For the most part, I will say the only side effect or symptom that has stuck with me since has been my tongue. Well, luckily I still have my tongue. I didn't lose my tongue, but what I mean is that it just feels dry. It feels sensitive. I had some spicy food last night and that was a big mistake because it felt way more sensitive to spicy foods than before. So I was like, okay, no more spicy foods. So what's next? I have 11 more sessions to go. Last session on the calendar is May 18th. So I already have it planned out, mapped out. I am taking an extra week off now though, because we are going to Mexico on Saturday. I was supposed to be in treatment by next Tuesday, but that's not gonna happen. My doctor was cool. He's like, go ahead, enjoy your Christmas, come on back. And then when you come back, we'll start you on the regular regimen of going every other week. So that begins the end of December. The 29th of December, I go back in and I start my treatment. And then I'll be going on a regular basis every 2 weeks. I did go to a doctor checkup on Monday, so that was 2 days ago. He was very pleased with my results. He said that one of the things that helped me kind of overcome a lot of those side effects was just being hydrated, keeping myself hydrated. Overly hydrated. I mean, I had to go to the bathroom once an hour, but it was worth it because basically it just helps flush that chemo out of your system quicker rather than just let it sit around and, hurt you. So he said that really helped. I also signed up for a half marathon. I know some people think that's crazy. It's on March 6th. And I did it the day after my chemo. So I did it on Wednesday. I signed up a week ago. And I'm not a big runner. It's not that I run a ton of marathons. I've only done one half marathon before in my life, and it was years ago. But, I want to have something to help motivate me, to keep me active, to just kind of help push me through this. And March 6th, is fine. Like, I talked to my doctor and he was actually really excited about it. So, I got his stamp of approval. I'm good to go. And hopefully I'll just be feeling well enough by then to at least walk it. I know 13.1 miles is a lot, but, I'm gonna be fine. So I have a lot of my friends supporting me doing that as well. I've done several workouts already. I've been back at the gym. I've been coaching, working out. I think coming back home from the chemo the day of and the day after that and the day after that and forcing myself to go outside and go for that long walk really, really helped me, help clear my mind, just kind of put just put myself in a good place and not get depressed. Guess that's it. I just wanna, one of these things is like, I want this to be, this is gonna sound weird, but I want this to be a positive experience for me. There's gonna be a lot of growth through this whole process. And the growth is going to be my mindset. It's going to be my attitude. It's going to come from within. Probably am not going to get stronger physically, but I know I can get stronger on the inside. My faith has grown exponentially this last week. I feel closer to my husband. I have more patience now. It's just definitely kind of helped change how I view the world, and I'm looking forward to how it will continue maturing me, if that makes sense. So, you know, the reason I'm doing these videos, and I know I've mentioned this before, is I just want this to be, you know, if you've been diagnosed or have a loved one that's been diagnosed and has to go through the treatment, just know it's not the end of the world. You know, like I said in the beginning, every chemotherapy is different. Everyone is different. Every cancer is different. So this is my experience. And I know it's only the first treatment of 12 that I have to go through. So we're going to see how I feel about this by the end of this. But I'm hoping and I'm keeping faith that my attitude isn't going to change, that I'm going to continue to have a positive mindset. I'm going to continue to be thankful. I'm going to continue to believe in the Lord, that He loves me. And I'm going to continue knowing that I am a healthy person. This is just something that I'm going through right now. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel. And I'm just really blessed and thankful that it's temporary. So that's it. Next video, I don't know when I'll be posting. If I'll post something from Mexico, we'll see. But if I don't see you before then, I hope you have a very blessed and Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. And I just want to thank you if you've reached out to me in any way. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your thoughts, your prayers, that positive energy. That's all I want. That's all I need right now. I'm soaking it up like a sponge, and I just love you for it. So, mwah! Thanks guys for checking in on me. I appreciate you for checking out this video, and I hope you're doing well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.